Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you new here, my channel is all about building an online business and lifestyle hacks. If these things you are interested in, please consider subscribing and also click the bell icon to get notified. Hi guys, welcome back. So today my topic is point of differences between the lamb and the tiger by William Blake. So let's start with the historical context first. So we can see here that William Blake, born in 1757 in London, was a seminal figure in the poetry and visual arts of the pre-Romantic age. You can say that he was one of the precursors of the Romanticism. Blake held radical and religious, moral, political opinion. He disliked the distrusted institutionalized religion like church. He felt Christianity encouraged the suppression of natural desires and discouraged earthly joy. Then in 1787 we can see that William Blake composed a collection of 27 poems entitled Song of Innocence, and you can see the original picture here. And this written here that the author and printer W. Blake. So Blake etched both the text and a design for each poem onto a copper plate from which an impression could be printed by ink. Later, the whole print was colored with acid-resisting ink so that all the other things will be gone, but his poetry will remain. This is kind of ironic also. So then we can see that also these poems are vastly influenced by the French and American Revolution and stand against the industrialization of England. Then it was not until 1794, 5 years later, he created 27 plates of a set of antithetical poems, Song of Experience. You can see the original plate here. So only 28 copies of his complete collections of Song of Innocence and of Experience are known today. Not all have the complete 54 copies. So let's say about the lamb. So the lamb is one of Blake's most transparent poems. The lamb and the child are both symbol of innocence and religion. The child, who is the speaker of the poem, converses with the lamb in a state of simplicity and self-assurance, properly supplying both the questions and the answers, almost in the form of a catechism. Most obviously, the lamb comes to represent Jesus Christ, and the speaker declares as much. Both the lamb and the child also represent innocence and purity. Other images that we can find here are also symbolic, like the stream and mead depict nature's generosity, freedom, and happiness. The woolly clothing represents security, warmth, and care, and the tender voice of the lamb announces innocence, goodwill, and mercy. The poem's most immediate theme is that of goodness and innocence and mankind, as well as in religious faith as seen through the eyes of the childhood nativity. All the questions are answered by the same child asking them, indicating that this was not a probing inquiry but rather a form of catechistic instruction. In innocence, a child believes that he has all the answers. This is the quality of innocence, the certainty and inexperience. The boy has been properly indoctrinated, and without reflection he parrots back his lessons in confidence. His questions appear in the first stanza, as we notice here, and his answers appear in the second stanza, as we notice in the latter part. So in the poetic form, as we begin to look at, we note that many of the poem's rhymes are harmonic, such as words like bright and delight, expressing agreement, immunity, and harmony and justice in the speaker's poetic world. All is right, and at least seems so, in the state of innocence. However, there is one off rhyme repeated in the poem. We can find the off rhyme, the lamb and name. You can see here. So we can find the lamb and name in the poem twice, so which is the indication that something is a bit off in the state of innocence. In the poetic meter, as we consider, Blake has chosen to write his poem in trochaic meter, which usually carries a sinister sound, and the same menacing meter Shakespeare uses for the lines of the witches in his play Macbeth. Because of this trochaic meter, we have feminine rhymes in the repeating couplet at the beginning and end of each stanza, and all these are representing Jesus' brightness and all goodness in the world. So in conclusion, as a final note, we cannot miss the fact that the first stanza's couplet is repeated at its conclusion, and the second stanza's first and final couplets also include repeated lines. This repetition may suggest childhood memorization, and it also suggests that the answers, like the questions, are the product of religious instructions, not genuine inquiry. Lastly, Blake's artistic depiction confirms the theme of innocence and religious faith. And in this drawing, we can say that these lambs and this little child and this home, this all presenting security and tells us that all is fine, but this is not the reality. So as we transcend to the Blake's poem The Tyger, we find a series of questions, none of which are answered. This poem considers the riddle of the universe, how to reconcile good with evil. So the speaker of this poem conveys someone with a jaded experience, pride, and even rage, unlike the speaker of the lamb who supplies both the questions and the answer. This speaker only poses question. He doesn't have any of the answers. As innocence is the voice of certainty, experience is the So experience is the voice of the experienced people. So furthermore, the lamb continues to represent Jesus Christ, and the tiger can be said to represent Satan. The focal question, assertiveness, is found in line 20. Did he who made the lamb make thee? Did the God who made Christ made Satan also? And if so, the implicit question is why? As the lamb represents purity and goodness, the tiger represents wickedness and evil. How could a loving God create both? Other images that we find are also symbolic. The line on what wings bear he aspired suggests the hubris who flew too close to the sun. This is an image of defiance. The next line, what the hand dare sage the fire, suggesting the titan Prometheus who defied the gods by stealing fire for humanity as civilization. The next we find echoing images of Hephaestus with his hammer and anvil. Here we can suggest that the tiger is a kind of weapon created for God to strike us down, like one of Jesus' lightning bolt. In all this, we can find Greek or pagan imagery, which differs from the Christian imagery of the lamb, although we find Christian imagery also in this poem. So later we can see the questions become an accusation as it does an inquiry. So in poetic form we can see that the use of the letter Y in Tyger, Blake replaces why with why, because why is the central question of the poem. Again, this can be debated. So why does the god created evil? This is the theory question. So this is the main question. Unlike the lamb in this poem uses rhyme often to depict discord and conflict. Bright is paired with night in this poem, as evil stand opposite to the goodness. The off rhyme is again repeated twice, I and symmetry. Lastly, unlike the lamb, masculine rhymes with trochaic meter, but here some of the lines are written in iambic meter also. So the first stanza is repeated at the last with the exceptional word dare replaced from could. So the speaker goes from questioning to accusing. The repetition suggests that the question will never be answered. So in conclusion, the tiger is ultimately less about actual tigers or other specific frightening things and more about all the large concepts of humanity finds it difficult to comprehend. God created the world, but the world is full of suffering, pain, hatred and violence. The tiger thus symbols those parts of God and the world that humans struggle to reconcile with their idea of God. So in this poem we can see bare trees. And the tiger is looking like not so scared. So that's the difference between innocence and experience. Thank you. We are at the end of my presentation. Again, if you like my contents like this, please consider subscribing and also click the bell icon and like and share, and please comment also to get notified. Thank you.